All right, the broadcast is live. What's up, everyone?
What's
And
up?
how you doing, Miss Barbara?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm great. So
It's
we're
good.
gonna have a very, very good one today. Why don't you
Good
tell
to
them what
see
we're gonna
you.
kick it about today?
Talk to me.
Well, earlier I was on Facebook and one of my friends sent me a video, and in the video it was a young lady that was saying she was dating a guy. They had broken up for a while now, and she was used to a certain lifestyle. So she feels, even though they're broken up, he should still pay all her bills. He should pay for her Mercedes Benz. He should do everything for her, even though they're no longer together. So I would definitely like to talk about that one tonight because I think if he did that, if he does that, he has problems, well, within himself. He's not secure in himself. And she definitely has problems where she think if you break up with somebody, they have responsibility to take care of you for the rest of your life. So
And were they married?
no, they were dating.
Did they have
No kids, nothing.
children? Nothing?
Nothing. Her whole rationality was he afforded me this lifestyle. So since he gave me this lifestyle, I'm not going back. He owes me now because he gave me luxurious gifts. He took me on trips. He did things for me. So he owes to me to continue my lifestyle, even though I'm no longer with him.
Any idea of how long they were together?
They were together for 2 years.
That's bullshit.
Right.
Nobody gets you used to a lifestyle in 2 years. It took Dave like 7 years to get me to eat a lamb chop. Like, come on.
But
No,
see,
nobody gets you.
right. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. That's the problem. Like her rationale and her thought pattern is crazy because to keep it real, any guy your man does for you because you're with him. He's not going to treat another woman off the street the way he treats you. He's not going to treat his lady friends or co-workers or anybody the way he every man and woman does for their significant other because they're together. So yes, that's a reason. And for her to think, oh, I was with this man for 2 years, so for the rest, until I'm ready to move on, he owes it to me to take care of me. And that was her statement. He owes it to her to take care of her. And my theory on that is she's utterly insane.
Oh, she's absolutely insane. But Katrina, who is my girl, she said
Mhm.
that's because some men want like a woman who's dependent. Like you are like her magnetic north. She needs you. And some guys, they do get off on that. Like a
No,
woman who,
they definitely do. But once again, to me, those are the insecure men. Because if you have to control someone because you have the money or because you have materialistic things, that says a lot about you. Again, because you don't have confidence in yourself. So the only way you think you can keep a hold on this woman or man is to dangle materialistic things in front of them or always talk about your money and your belongings. And to me, that's not a relationship. That's more of a
transaction.
right. That's more of a transaction. It's like I'm paying you to be my woman. So you might as well just go to Vegas and get you a call girl or something. I don't know, but that's a little. Well, you don't even have to go to Vegas, but you could go right there to Hunts Point.
Yeah.
but,
But
but
if you're already spending top dollar, why
right,
not go to Vegas?
right.
Get
So
somebody who looks all snatched and
right.
Yeah.
But that's one of the issues. Like me and my partner that rides with me during the day, we were talking about that, and he said something. I was like, that's true. Like if you have to hold a woman like that, you don't have her, because now when the next guy comes with a little more than you, she's gone.
Yeah.
So it has to be about, like we said in prior engagements, it has to be about, we have to yoke together. We have to have that connection on some level. So if the only connection you have is his money, when that money's gone, or when someone else comes with a little more money, you're gonna be out of there. So I can't agree with that at all.
But there's a lot of guys like that are kind of, because some years ago, I guess 10 years ago now, I was going to marry somebody who was like that, gave me like all kind of stuff. But then the minute I went out with my girlfriends, I went to my sister's for the weekend, I went to my dad for the weekend, I went to somebody's bachelorette party, baby shower, you name it. The minute he didn't have me exactly where he wanted me to be, he started giving me the itemized bill.
Mm.
And when he met me, I was like recently divorced, had a teenager in the house. Like I needed new furniture. I wanted to move to Queens. Like I had a whole bunch of things going on. And he was like, no, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. But then when I started to get my own, he was like, well, I bought your son's bed. All right. And he said, thank you so much.
Right.
He sleeps on it soundly. Oh, but when we went away, I paid for everything.
Mm.
Okay. All right. And sometimes my mom cooks extra and gives it to you because I ask her to. I didn't ask her to. As a matter of fact, I think she's a sucky cook and I'm a better cook. But let's not go there.
So he broke down everything he ever did for you.
Oh my God, it was like insane. And like, it's part of the thing. Like, I did not, even though I was still with him, I didn't owe him anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like, I felt like we were level, like I gave as much as I got. And I'm definitely in a relationship. My love language is service.
Mm-hmm.
I will remember to get gifts for your kids, your mom. I will remember like if you have your boys come over, I'll remember that their wives' names, their kids' names. I'll be like very charming and I will give you a good reflection.
Mm-hmm.
You can't buy that shit.
Right.
Money does not buy that.
But the thing with that is you shouldn't have to buy that. And that's the whole point. Like if I'm in a relationship with someone, it's give and take. And it's from both sides. That's why when they used to say, oh, happy wife, happy life, I was like, but what about the guy? What about, shouldn't we both be happy? And that's where a lot of people get lost. Like it's a connection, and it's supposed to be about our unity and how we could both prosper, how we could both grow and make each other better. Like if you have a problem, I have a problem. If someone's giving you a hard time, I'm looking at it like, hold up, there's a problem here. So it should never be what you did for me or what I did for you. It's about what we could do together for each other, and it's a matter of respect, and it's a matter of trust. Because now when you see this person, like say you're Oprah, and she has millions, close to a billion, whatever she has, And if you feel somebody's just with you and they're always getting what they could get, how could you trust that person? But if you know someone was down for you when you had nothing, and now we're together, we're both building and we're doing what we could do, the feeling and the trust is so much stronger. That bond is everything. And my thing is, you should never. I tell my daughters, I'm like, be independent women. Rely on no man. I'm not saying that you're so independent that if a guy wants to do something for you, you won't accept it. But it's different when you're independent and you could do it on your own, but you could appreciate someone else stepping up and doing things for you. So I tell my daughters that, I tell all my homegirls that you don't ever want a guy that's trying to control you with his money and always telling you, oh, I did this and I got that and this is why it's this way and this is no, that's not cool. So that whole video just drove me crazy. I was like, wow. And she stood fast to her belief that because they were in a relationship for 2 years or however long, even if it's 5 or 10 years, if we're broken up and we don't have no kids or nothing,
right? And
we both took each other's time. I'm sorry it didn't work. And she said it wasn't no cheating issue or nothing like that. They just didn't work out. So if we didn't work out and I didn't disrespect you and I didn't do nothing wrong to you, why am I taking care of you? You're not my child. So why am I taking care of you into your later years when you decide, all right, I'm looking for someone new, so now you could go and do what you want to? No, that's not right. So people got to figure that out.
What are you sipping on?
I'm sipping on what is it called? It's a light rum, the coconut rum.
Oh, Malibu?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That's my Malibu. It's I just needed a nice little after my day, after the 1,000-degree weather in New York. I had to do something.
No, I hear ya.
But so and even with that, we were talking about like how do you think because someone dated someone for a while, they're beholden to that person?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, let's go back to the musician guy that I was engaged with.
Mm-hmm.
I also managed his career while we were together, but we had no paperwork that said, like, it was a verbal.
Mm-hmm.
So I made all the arrangements. I found him students. I got him gigs. I did all the travel, this, that, the other thing. When we broke up, he owed me about 20 grand.
Wow.
And after we broke up, he was like giving me like $200, $400 maybe a month. He was like, I'm going to pay it back. I'm going to pay it back. And then he was like, oh, because this was still in the days of MySpace. He goes, oh, there's people posting stuff on your MySpace page. And I was like, we're broken up. Oh. He goes, oh, I've been paying you because I was hoping that you would like forgive me.
Oh, okay.
We didn't break up because of the money, pal. We broke up because your dick has a mind of its own and it goes off places does not belong.
Mm.
And it wasn't a hard worker to begin with. So we got no business traveling.
It wasn't a hard worker. Okay.
No, it was not a hard worker. It was a slacker.
When you're a slacker, you can't be a drifter.
No, it doesn't. If you don't have enough for one woman,
that's
don't
right.
Go and finding 2, 3, 4.
That's right.
Honest to God, like I could not leave him in one aisle of the supermarket.
Oh, it was that bad?
If I was waiting for deli meat, he was over in produce squeezing some melons. It was just, I was like, you know what? Mm-mm. And yeah, I was like,
So he was the guy that felt that he basically owned you. No matter what I did, we were together, so you're supposed to come back with me. So it was
I,
one of those.
until I went to therapy for a long time,
Mm-hmm,
I dated that guy over and over and over again.
mm,
I own you. You know, I'm giving you the big D, which was
mm-hmm,
never very big. I'm giving you the big D.
mm-hmm.
So I got you lock, stock, and barrel. And I'm like, you know, I think like first year at therapy, my therapist was kind of like, I would be like, but you know, sometimes it's no. But I think sometimes maybe no. It made sense at the time. No, it didn't. They told you it made sense. And you were just that kind of gullible. She had me like week in, week out explaining why it just was not meant. It's not supposed to be like that.
Right. That's one of the things I always say. I constantly tell people love should never hurt. It shouldn't be a job. It's a journey. It's a journey, yes. And you have to work at it, but it's not a job. So if you have to work at love like it's a job, you have a problem. If you have to put more energy into it than that where it's draining you, I think that's a problem. So somewhere in between there, you have to figure out, like you figured out, all right, this guy wasn't right for me. He like and like you said, we all have been there. I have dated people and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? What was like I had to I don't know. I know I don't smoke crack, but I had to be on something that day because like I dated a girl that all she ever wanted to do was argue. Like everything was an argument. And like you said, if I walked past another girl and I knew the girl and the girl said, I knew you wanted to sleep with her. I'm like, I know people. I knew people before I met you. Wherever I went, like my boys used to like call me to come play ball. And she would cry, I don't want you to go out and play ball. I'm like, you can look out the window and see me play basketball. Like, are you serious? So it's like you have to find yourself sometimes. And until you are comfortable in yourself, no matter what's going on, it can't be right. And if you got a toxic person around you, it's just getting worse. And the negativity and everything is just, it just wears you down. So it was good that you found out, like, all right, this guy is not good. Even though he's giving you the big D that was really not big. He wasn't the one for you. I hope nobody in the world is that small, but
Oh, yes, there are. Yeah.
but like at the end of the day, relationships and love and the whole situation is rough. And you have to figure out how to navigate people and who's really and truly there for you and who's not truly there for you. So it's a slippery slope, but at times it's worth it. It sounds like we're getting a few messages in there.
Yeah, no, we're getting a nice response.
I can't see it.
Yeah, no, don't even worry about it. It just keeps coming.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, everyone who keeps posting like all your ideas and, you know, Keep them coming.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Now I have another one. It's a little bit off that topic, but it's like I told you at my job we talk about any and everything all day, and when we're in the cars and we have nothing else to talk about, um, I was with my partner, and a young lady told him, "Oh, she wanted to hook him up. She's like, you're a nice guy. I want to hook you up with a blind date." And he instantly was like, "Nah, I can't do that."
Why not? Blind dates are fun.
Because he kind of feels like me. Like, to me, a blind date is hard. It's like, I. It may not seem like that, but I'm more of an introvert than I'm to myself a lot. So he said he feels awkward going out there, and you don't know what you expect and how to go about it. He'll rather meet someone one on one by himself and then if he's also very picky, he's a very picky person. So he's like, it's hard to deal with someone else trying to hook him up. He'll rather do his own thing. But I know you're into the blind dates and stuff like that. But
I was like for a couple of years between while I was in therapy and before I met Dave, I dated like crazy. And that's how you know. That's how I mean, there was a couple of times like the guy got to the second or third date and he'd be like, well, I don't really want you dating any other people if you want to keep dating me. And that's how I learned. That's how I learned to be like, no, I'm not ready to be exclusive with you. And I can't say right now today that I ever would be. You're nice, and I would like to go out with you at least one more time. But if you want me to like not go out with anybody else, can't do it. I'll let you go. You're cut loose.
he truly said that after the second or third date.
Yeah. Oh, guys are tough.
That's a little too early. Even me as a guy, I can't tell a young lady after the second or third date, like, oh no, we got to be exclusive. No, even if you like that person and you're feeling a connection to them, I feel you have to wait at least 2 or 3 months to even think about saying, all right, we're liking each other. Let's see where this could go. Let's see what's up. But after 2 dates, I kind of, if a lady told me after 2 dates, oh, you can't see nobody else, it's just me, I would be a little like, what's wrong with her? Like, we just been on 2 dates. And like I said, you could really like someone and you could be vibing, but you really don't know that person after 2 dates.
Yeah, and Layla says 2 to 3 months is still a bit much. But like, I'll tell you personally, and I didn't say anything at the time. Like now we talk about it a lot, but the third date with Dave lasted for 2 days. He came over to my apartment and left 2 days later. We ordered food in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I made eggs and bacon, and then we ordered like pizza, and then we had like leftover pizza. You get the picture.
Right.
But anyway, and 2 weeks later, like I knew I was in love with him. Like I couldn't stop thinking about him. I couldn't wait till he came back over. I was cool. Like if he didn't call me that day or text me, I was like, so be it. But I was like, I couldn't wait to see him again. I was like crazy about him. And I never did have to wait long. Like I never did have to wait long. I don't think that we've ever gone for more than one day without speaking to each other, except after I moved in and we were just like not speaking to each other together. But before that.
But see, even that's different. All right, you had that instamatic, you had that connection. Boom, it's that connection. You're on
Yeah,
the
we did
phone
have that
talking.
boom.
Right, you're on the phone talking every day, but it still probably took a little while before you said, all right, maybe to yourself you were saying, all right, this is who I want. But you didn't say that to him right away, right?
No, and I took the random invitation to go out and get a drink and get couple of snacks or chill or be in a group where I knew like there was somebody that had some interest. I took those shots for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was physically faithful, but I didn't let him. There was a couple of times because he was staying in my apartment a lot because he was separated and kind of feeling different way. Like the first time he was alone since he was in his 20s and he was
Mm-hmm.
50. He was kind of like, do you need any money to pay any bills? I- I'm eating your food. I'm watching your cable. I'm like, nope, this is my place. If I couldn't afford to have you here, I would not afford to have you here.
Right.
And I was just, that's the thing. I definitely did not, when I was living by myself, there were very few times, like even before, and it will definitely be that way if there's an after. You don't owe me anything. He didn't really owe me anything when he was hanging out in my apartment almost every weekend. You don't owe me anything because if I couldn't have you here, I wouldn't.
Right.
And I think that's something that independent women definitely should do. Like Layla says, make your intentions clear. My intentions were very clear. You are here because I want you here. And I'm not going to cloud that up with money.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I needed a new couch. Christmas was coming. And he was like, do you want the couch? I said, no, I'm saving up for the couch. He's like, how short are you for the couch? The couch was 900. And I was like, I have about half of it. He goes, how about for Christmas, I give you the other half? Okay, that's good because I think that
Mm-hmm.
that was something to do.
Right.
Like that was fair.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave me like an envelope with the cash for the couch, and then he got me something else, like a boyfriendy kind of a gift.
Right.
But I was definitely not I was not that girl. And I did feel really good about the thing. Like I could ask you, we never had a fight where I asked him to leave. Like in 3.5 years of doing that every weekend, we never had a fight where I was like, no, you need to take your ass back to Long Island. It was like
Mm-hmm.
never like that. But not everybody's in that situation.
Right.
And
And,
I
and
wanted to maintain my independence.
right. And you can't be fearful of someone else's independence. There's nothing wrong with a person being independent. As long as there's mutual respect for one another, that's the most, well, to me, that's the most important thing. Like I always tell people, people are human. So you're gonna see somebody, as a man, I see a young lady, oh damn, she look good. But you're not gonna do it in a way that you disrespect your significant other. As a woman, you're gonna see guys that you're gonna be like, oh, he's hot. But you know what you have and you know what you got to deal with. So I tell people, people forget that we are human beings. People forget that no one's perfect. But like I always tell Sean, like certain things I have low tolerance for. So, like, I always tell people certain things you say, you can never take it back.
Oh, absolutely.
So
That
you gotta understand that. You like if you say some outlandish, off the wall stuff to me, don't come to me later and go, well, I said that because I was angry. No, you said that because you felt that and you just wanted to get it off your chest at that moment. And that's real, that's where you really was at. So now I know, and I told a young lady I was dealing with one time, when you say these things, it's always going to be in the back of my head now because you put it out there. So whether you really felt that way or whether you was just lashing out, and I tell people at our age, you shouldn't be lashing out, you should be speaking out and trying to solve the situation. Because if you have, like, it goes back to what I said, love shouldn't hurt. So if you have to say something that you feel is going to hurt me or you want to hurt me, why are we even dealing with each other?
But that's the thing. That is in the rules of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my hard and fast rules. And that's why a lot of things I don't take so much to heart. Only hurt people hurt.
Right.
And we're older. We've been
Mm-hmm.
hurt in ways that young people haven't even thought up yet.
Right.
So when you're dealing with someone who's a little long in the tooth, they got hurt like tree rings. They got levels and they got levels and layers of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time they're going to be really, really polite because they've known that, politeness and respect is the currency of love.
Right.
But when they do pop off a nugget, it's going to be particularly vicious at our age because you got hurt and you got insecurity because you're not that like fine piece of ass you were back in the day. You want to make sure that you get one good one in.
But now let me tell you
I'm
something
talking
about
about women. I'm talking about men too. You
right.
want to get that one good one in.
But let me tell you something about what you just said.
Yeah, I know it's relative.
No, watch. If you would have said that maybe 20 or 30 years ago, I would have said yes. Now you have women and men in their 60s looking like they're 40.
Oh yeah.
They keep themselves together. They keep themselves on point. So I like it's a difference now. Like and I understand hurt people. But as the person, how long do you allow a person to act this way towards you? It has to be a
No. That is
right. It has to be a point where you're like, hold up, time out. We're not doing this. You got away with it once, twice. This is not going to be a continuous thing. And that's the point. Like everybody has their moments where maybe they'll say some slick shit, and you're like, "Oh, really?" But if it's a continuous thing, that's a problem. Like I said, nobody's perfect. We all have our moments. But if it's an ongoing situation where it's over and over, and every time there's a disagreement, this person is lashing out. We don't need. I don't need that in my my aura is not for that. So you could go over there, and I'll stay over here. That's it.
absolutely. And it's one of those things that like you get to the point where if you're an adult, you should be able to say like that's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair. It's not based in reality. That doesn't really apply to us. Whereas when you're young, you're a little bit more reactionary, like, you address that particular statement.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at least when somebody's lashing out.
Right. But
And getting back to controlling relationships,
mm-hmm.
people who are trying to control you, they throw out a lot of hurtful shit.
Right.
That's how they keep you. They throw out hurtful shit. They expect you to address it. And then they start pulling off the little twigs and branches of truth and use it for the next time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they cook it up in a hurtful stew. And that's what they get.
But that's why, even since I was young, I was the same way. I always felt like if someone loves you, they're not going to do nothing to hurt you, to disrespect you. Now, I'm not saying every relationship I've been in, if I disagree with someone and we had a disagreement, I was like, oh my God, they're trying to hurt me, we got to leave. No. What I'm saying is, if you're in a situation where someone is blatantly being disrespectful, doing all sorts of negative things to you, you have to find it within yourself to say, all right, this isn't for me. I have to go. If you're in a situation it's like we said a couple of episodes ago, in a relationship, sometimes you may not want to deal with certain shit. This may not be you, but you're in a relationship. So you're going to be like, all right, I know that I'm not into this, but this is what you like doing. So I'm going to sacrifice and do this with you, for you. To me, that's what a relationship is about. If it's always like, no, I don't like that. I don't like movies, or I don't like sports. I can't watch football or basketball. No, I don't like going to Broadway plays. I don't have time. If your spouse or your significant other should be important enough for you to say, all right, this isn't number one on my list, but for you, yeah, I'll do it, of course. And it should be vice versa. Like both people should be willing to sacrifice for one another. And I see nowadays a lot of people are selfish in the way they deal with one another. And that's why the relationships are stagnant, or they're not going where they could go, or it's just more of a relationship of convenience. And when you have a relationship of convenience, once again, you don't have a relationship. You have an agreement, to me.
Oh, absolutely. And the last thing, when you really love someone, when it's like a real, potentially for the rest of your life kind of a deal, the last thing that you want is for them to be lonely in your presence.
Oh, that's true. That's
Because,
true.
oh my goodness, if they are lonely in your presence and always looking for something to do, something else to do when you're hanging out, that needs to be addressed.
Right.
Because that's when, remember, men and women are unfaithful for very different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, I used to think that. I think it's different now. I think women.
Could be different now because I've never, you know what? I haven't really thought about it from a guy's point of view in a long time. But I think that a woman is a
Mm-hmm.
lot more likely. First of all, you're either good an unfaithful type or you're not.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people in the world, they are just like ride or die, and they wouldn't cheat for all the tea in China. And there are people that kind of like do it for whatever good reason it solves. But anyway, getting back to like, you women will entertain a man because they no longer have an emotional connection.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that women go off and have a physical, intimate relationship with a man just because of the way he looks.
See, I would have agreed with you, like I said years ago. I work with a lot of women, and I hear the conversations.
No,
And
don't think we don't talk smack.
no, I'm not even saying the smack. They're basically saying what they did, and the whole thing with that is, I think over the last 15, 20 years or so, with the women's movement and everything, and people saying, oh, well, you shouldn't treat women any different than men, and listen, like the whole mindset has changed. I hear women like, oh, he's hot. I just want to jump his bones and he could go home. And then I'll go home to my man. And they're really serious about that. I have had women tell me, yeah, I got a man, but we could bang and you could go do what you do and I do what I do. And they was dead serious. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, so it's a whole, to me, it's a difference now in the way they see women and men. It's like, oh, we're all the same, we're on the same level. And I'm not saying we're not on the same level, but people used to see women as, oh, they're so sweet and innocent, but that sweet and innocent stuff is out the window now.
It's
Even
gone. You
even if
want
you
to be
listen,
innocent, talk to an 8-year-old.
right, if
Even
you
then,
listen
you
to
might get major attitude.
that's right. If you even listen to the music now, 90% of the female music is talking about banging. Like, oh, how many guys buy them purses and how they drop the good pee on them, and it's like they're just like the guys. So it's not a difference now. Like women will tell you, oh, I got these many notches on my bed. Like he got this, but I got this. I know a young lady that this is where we said we leaving names out. But I know a young lady, right? I know a young lady that she was she's married and she was dealing with another guy on the side. And she said to the guy in front of me, you're the bitch and I'm the guy. And I was like, she said, yeah, because you knew what it was. It was just a quick lay and you caught feelings. And I said, oh, wow. Like she was blunt. She didn't care. She let it be known, like, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted from you. I told you what it was before, and you caught feelings. So that's on you. And a lot of young ladies are like that now. They're like, yo, I'm free. I'm independent. I'm going to do, if I want to go out and have sex with 30 dudes, it's what it is. Like, so it's a different vibe now. And I guess it's a new era, a new way of thinking, but that's what a lot of young ladies, how they look at it. So I tell the guys, you gotta be prepared for whatever.
The last time I dated somebody who physically like knocked my socks off, when I went to meet him, my girlfriend texted me just to make sure that I got there safely because, you got to do that when you go on the dating site blind dates.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yep, I'm here. And whatever we're doing, we're going to be doing naked. And she was like, oh my. And then we're walking and we're talking. Now, physically, he was every single checked off every box, like his style, his features, his eyes, his size, like just everything. After a half hour of talking to this guy, I realized you have the intellect of Dryerland. And honestly, I don't even want to hear you talk while I'm fucking you. And I'm so disappointed because really, I'd love to see you naked, but you're a dope. And I'm sure I'd have to explain to you after we're finished why you have to get the fuck out of my apartment right fucking now.
But see, now let me tell you, even with us guys,
If a guy did that to me, I'd be devastated.
but no, even with guys, I've had friends say in a conversation with a woman, he got so turned off that he just didn't even want to. We can't sleep together, like, and people don't believe it. Like, some people think guys will sleep with it. It don't matter as long as you getting sex, you'll sleep with them. And I'm like, no, that's not true. I have been around women that they're gorgeous, nice body and everything, but the conversation is like, what's wrong with you? Like, either they're angry at the world, either they're dumb as a doorknob, or all they're talking about is we had nothing in common. And she's over here somewhere and I'm over here. And it's just like, I'm sitting there like, okay, when is this date going to be over? And you're trying to be respectful and not just get up and leave. But in the back of your head, you're going, damn, I want to go so bad. But I was raised to be a gentleman. So you don't just get up and leave. And the person, like, they think they had the best time in the world. And you're like, oh my God, like, this was horrible.
3 days
So,
later, they're like, "Are we having a second date?"
right. Are we at the same place? Now they're like, oh, I'll give me a call later, and you're like, okay, yeah, I'll give you a call, and you're ripping up the number as soon as you leave. Well, you're not even you erasing it from your cell phone now because they put the phone number in your cell. So it's just it's funny, like I said, the dynamics of everything and how we deal with situations and dating and it's so it's as you get older, I found as I got older, dating became I thought it would be easier. It became a little more complicated because now, well, at my age now, it's not as bad. But like in my mid 40s, I was like, what the hell? Because now you have women with kids, women that had their issues with men. You're having whatever going on in your mind, and you're like, wow, is this worth it? So sometimes I would just be like, all right, I'm just out for the drinks. I've had, oh, you want to come back to I got to get up early. I know I don't have work, but I got to get up early and go to work tomorrow, so I can't come through. And I experienced it all. Like it's funny. Like it's hysterical with some things I've experienced. Like I said, I had the experience of a young lady. I think we spoke about this before. The first time we got together, she cried because I was the first guy after her last guy, and I'm sitting there like, what the hell? What are you supposed to do in that situation? So,
Um, I was full disclosure.
yeah, you was that lady.
I wasn't that particular because you weren't the guy. That guy,
Right.
God rest his soul, he died in a motorcycle accident. But because we remained friends.
Uh-huh.
But we got to the point where it was going to be like my first time after my divorce, and I was together with my ex-husband for 21 years. And I started to get like emotional
Mm-hmm.
and This guy was the best. We became such good friends. He was like, sweetie, right now, I don't want anything more than I want you. But I'm going to pack it up and go home because you can't handle this. And I can't handle being the first person that you have sex with after this guy for 20 years.
That was noble. That's very noble. That's kind of similar to what I did. I just because we were away, we weren't even around. So I just said, "Don't worry about it. Just lay here on my chest. Just
No,
get it out,
yeah.
and we could talk, and we could just chill. Don't worry about it." And she was like, "Oh, you don't mind? No, I don't mind. I'd rather you be good. I'd rather you be happy than you feel some way later. So we could just chill and watch TV, watch movies, eat, and relax. It's cool. If it's meant to be, it would happen. So I don't get caught up in that. But see, you said, what did you say your love language was again?
Service.
Service. Mine, I don't know how to ex- explain mine, but I'm a very nurturing person also.
That's your love language. You're a nurturer.
So I'm the touchy feely. I like emotions. I like holding hands and doing things like that. I love physicality. I'm gonna put it that way. So I need a. I need
You're probably a lot like Dave.
right.
Yeah, you want to be the wuzzy guy.
Yeah,
But
that's
you're like shoulders back, swagalicious out in the street. But
right.
get home, you're the fuzzy wuzzle doodle bug.
No, but I don't mind because I think it's cool when you could show someone that affection and you're not afraid to let other people see that. And so many people get caught up, so many guys get caught up in having to be macho and oh, I don't want nobody. Like, I don't care about that because that person doesn't matter to me. The person I'm with matters to me. So when it comes to that, it's like, all right, I'm very affectionate. So we could hold hands while we're walking down the street. When we're home, we could cuddle up and watch TV and stuff like that. So I tell people that's my love language. I'm an affectionate, nurturing person. If you don't like that, I guess we won't work. And I understand everybody need their space. That's cool because I need my space too. Even with all that nurturing, sometimes you just want to get on your bike, go for a bike ride, walk on the beach, or do whatever you're doing by yourself, get your stuff together. But I need a woman that's capable of accepting that nurturing and that caring and willing to give it back. Because sometimes you could be the person that gives out all the love and affection, and that person is just like, well, not that they're not into you, but they're not used to anybody showing them that attention and love. And when you do it, they're like, oh, what do you want? What do I have to do for you? Nothing. We're chilling. Like, what are you talking about? And that's the thing. So you need people that's willing and able to understand what you bring and what they bring. So what do you think of that one?
No, for me personally, because my love language is service, and because I have a lot of physical trauma in my past,
Mm-hmm.
Dave had to work on some shit with me. It was not like the things that he need being not want.
Mm-hmm.
The things that he needed was like someone who was like safe, someone who would be like open to just giving you the things that you need to feel comfortable in your first like real relationship after being in another relationship for like a quarter of a century.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, you know what? Come in the next after he stayed like 2 or 3 times. This is your toothbrush. This is your drawer. I put a couple of things. I took the liberty, went to Century 21, put pajama pants and um, extra pairs of drawers. This is for you. And I think those were the things that he needed to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
The service.
Right.
There was always hot food. I bought body wash and I did the service things that I do. But then over the years, he made me cuddly. I was never cuddly. It was very, very emotional for me to get cuddly.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, and this is even getting me emotional just talking about it. I was like, because I only used to show emotion when I was hurt. I had no ability to show emotion when I was moved by love. Nothing. I had nothing to pin it to. And then it was kind of like he has this way that he either sits or lays down that I know he's looking to cuddle. And him knowing that I'm not the person that you jump on to cuddle. You have to invite me in.
Right.
So he gets in that like area. I know the spots in the house where he's going to be looking for cuddling. And he has to be in a certain position. And then I'll like attach myself to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, is it that time? Are we there? And he'll just start like laughing. Because guys don't always, in my history, I never had a man who conformed to what I needed. He didn't push his need for physical touch on me.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of let it grow. That was like a thing that I never had before. That's like that's like the big love thing.
But you
Is
cared for him enough to work on it and get yourself to that point. And that to me, that's important.
I didn't even know it was getting to that point until during the pandemic. We seemed to have like lost it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted it back. That's when I realized that I got to that point. And that's when I realized that no matter how long you're with somebody, that's what you have to, it's not enough to love somebody. You have to be the right person to receive their love.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, you have to learn to receive love.
Mm-hmm.
I can count in 8 years. I am telling you, I can count on my fingers how many times he's told me he loved me. And it usually, he's not even looking at me. We'll be in the middle of a different conversation and he stops me in my tracks. But I know this every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had other people that every time they hung up the phone, love you, bye.
Mm-hmm. See, that's me. I'm one of those. I'm one of those, and I'm one of those because I feel
I
you
want
have to
that.
tell people
I'm
that.
one of those.
Right. I feel you have to tell people that because you never and the pandemic and all that showed me that I was right. You never know when a person's not going to be here anymore. So, as they say, give them their flowers while they're alive. So tell the person how you feel. I text my kids that every day. I love you. That's important to me. I tell my friends, I love you. That's important to me because that you're giving them that while they're here. Because when they're gone, no matter how many times you say you love them, they can't hear you. But I want you to know while you're here, like, yes, I love you and I respect you and I treasure you. And that's important.
Like, full disclosure, Wise and I have a group of friends and we text each other almost every day.
Right.
And there's a lot of love yous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's legit. It's legit. It's fair. Anybody on that group chat shows up at my door 4:00 in the morning. I need a hot meal and a place to stay. Come right on in, second up the stairs, second door to your left. Like, no questions asked. And it's a funny thing, words.
Mm-hmm.
Because words can make or break love, but they don't have anything to do with it.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. And it's like all these things, getting back to the initial video that we were talking about the women who want somebody to continue to finance her lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about her ability to love? Did she lose faith in herself and faith in, like, what's going on with her? Did she like lose the ability to see her worth?
Well,
Not in the forest for the trees. I'm working on making my car payments, but I'm not working hard enough to make my own car payments.
true. But even I don't think she loves the person as much as she loved the materialistic things. So her love is for the materialistic stuff. And he's just a way ends to the means. Like, all right, I have to deal with you because you could supply me with the Benz and the condo and things like that. But that doesn't mean she loves him. That means she loves what he can do for her. And to me, like, that's not a relationship. Like, you always want someone that's willing to ride for you. If you don't have, you want someone that would have your back and come help you out and bring you up. But if you're in a relationship where all it is they're taking and taking and taking, and your their love is centered on what you could give them, you're not, like I said, you're not in a relationship. You're in a business agreement. And like we said, you could go to Vegas and buy one instead of getting a headache and having that in your house. So the only thing I looked at when I saw that young lady is I felt sorry for her because she really and truly felt that she was correct in her thinking. And I'm like, what kind of insane person believes because someone dated you and gave you luxurious things, they owe you now, and they have to continue even when we're not together? Like, what brought her to this mind state? What made her say, well, and like the people in the video was saying, they said, hold up, he did that because you was his girlfriend. He didn't do it, like, he wouldn't do that for a stranger. you're his girlfriend. You're no longer his girlfriend. So that bond is broken. He owes you nothing and you owe him nothing. But she just would not see it like that.
I think that women learn that it's a generational thing.
I agree.
I think that there are some women who are just brought up to believe that your beauty is a form of currency and somebody's got to pay for that.
Yes.
Like your beauty or your charm or your company or your snatch or your whatever.
She said just snatch. I haven't heard that in years.
But yeah, that it's a form of currency. Somebody got to be paying for that.
And the thing with that is, this is something else we were talking about that's funny. It's on the same topic, but a little off. Like when you said paying for it, we were talking about going to strip clubs and stuff like that. And I was saying I was never into strip clubs. Because I understand, and it's about the fantasy and stuff. All my friends are like, yo, you're insane because you're too literal with things. And I am very literal, but I'm like, I know these women that's shaking in front of you and grinding on you, they don't give a damn about you. They just want your money. So like, I never got into that. I was just like, I'm not gonna go waste my money on somebody that don't give a damn about me. Like, if I need somebody to shake for me, I have my woman shake for me. If I'm single, then nobody's shaking for me. But we can always find
going to a strip club.
Nah, the strip club just never ever was for me. I was always like,
yeah, I feel the same way. I'm not that person.
right. I'm like, that's not me. And I would go hang out with my boys. I'll go to the pool table while they're dealing with the strippers or whatever. And one day I went and I had a young lady. She came to me like 8 times. You want to dance? I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you. My friends, they really into this. Like, finally, she came to me, and I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but I gave her $5 and was like, leave me alone. And she was like, what? What the? And I was like, no disrespect. I told you like 8 times, this isn't for me. What, you thought you was going to break me down or something? Like, no, I'm not a strip club dude, but more power to the people that are. It's all good. Whatever makes you happy, you do. But I just feel you shouldn't have to pay for affection. And if you're in a situation where you feel that you're paying for that affection, you need to get out of that situation quick, because it's not for you.
Right. And whether it's you're paying with materialistic things or cash or, you know what? And definitely as somebody whose love language is service, a lot of times you stop and catch yourself. Like, am I paying? Am I providing service? Am I making everything because that's the only way I think that I'm going to be loved? And when I get like that, I kind of back off a little.
Yes, I understand that. I've been there.
Yeah, because I just want to see, as a reality check, if I don't go and spend $200 every 2 weeks on groceries, is there still going to be food in the house?
Right.
Because you wonder, we all get a little anxious. Like, am I doing too much?
So you have to like really sometimes dig deep and figure it out. And like I said, in any relationship, you're not going to agree on everything, but you have to be on par with certain things. Like you can't be a person like me that loves the physicality, and you have someone that's, well, I could have sex like once every 2 months. I'm like, what? No, we got a problem right now. Like, no. You got to go over there with that. But that's why I said you have to really converse and get to know a person and know what that person's willing to do, what you're willing to do, and take it from there. Because if you're telling me, well, we can link up like once every 2 months, I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm good. You'll be all right. I'm not the guy for you. And people always go, well, that's not the most important thing in life.
It is the most important thing.
To me, it is. To
Yeah.
me, it is. It's not the only thing. It's not the end all, but it's important because that's the way I show my affection and my love and my caring and my nurturing and all that beautiful stuff. So it is important. Now it shouldn't be above everything else, but it shouldn't be below everything else. It should be on par to me. Like we could go out and just have fun. We could sit home and just have fun. But we have to have that connection, that physical connection.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, this is like a very real topic for me. And that's like the whole point of pink flags.
Right.
The whole point of pink flags is you need to find somebody who values your top thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like you, my top thing is I'm going to have sex every single day. I'm going to have sex every day when I'm like 80 years old and my kids are down around my knees and my teeth no longer exist. They live in a jar in the bathroom. I'm going to be banging every day, twice on Sunday.
And you should. And you should. And my thing is if a person cares for you, they're good with that.
Right. And if you know that that is your point of view, and if your point of view is just the opposite, like I can't imagine being held to a standard where I have to want to have sex every day, then you need to find somebody who doesn't want it. Like if you and you want to break it down to something completely different, the only thing in the world you eat is chicken nuggets and french fries. You do not need to have a relationship with someone who went to like cordon bleu school.
Right.
Because eventually that it won't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No one should have to ask to have their basic needs met in love.
Right. I agree.
Love is the whole point of pink flags is love gotta be a world of yes. 100% yes every day of the year, it's unrealistic.
Right.
But the whole point is have faith in yourself. Have faith that the person, the lid to your pot and nobody else's pot is out there.
Right.
And remember, try on several pot lids before you commit. Because you might find someone who needs to have sex twice a day, but it might suck. It might suck for you.
This is true. This is true.
I
I've
mean,
experienced that too.
yeah, as somebody who is on that particular page, okay, I can't stand the thought of having sex with you every day for the rest of my life. I can't
Because
stand the thought of not wanting to have sex with someone every day for the rest of my life.
right. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with wanting that affection. And when I say that, I also say, like, if you're an adventurous person, it's rough to deal with someone that's not adventurous.
Exactly.
So you gotta have someone that's open to a lot of different things. I'm not saying like you gotta be super, super freaky and crazy and wild, but you can't just be missionary for the rest of your life. Like, it's other things. So
But if you like to have missionary sex twice a month and that does it for you, and you find a girl that is like, ah, yeah, I can handle missionary twice a month. But for Christmas, you're going to get me a Louis Vuitton bag. Ding, ding, ding. Run for it.
mm,
That is your forever human.
that
Or
that
somebody's
that
kind
could
of
work
like,
for someone.
yeah, the thought of spending $1,200 on a purse is obscene.
But there's somebody out there that would do it just for that twice a month, and that's that point.
Yeah.
If you have to buy love, it's sad to me, but because it's millions and millions of people in this world, so there's someone out there for everyone, and there's someone that is equal to you. You just gotta be patient and look sometimes, and like you said, try on a couple of lids and see what works for you. That's
Yeah,
it.
there is nothing. And again, even that's not like, I'm like, yeah, try on all the lids you can. But there are definitely people out there. Like when I was very young, I met somebody who was kind of like, I don't think that I could have sex until I get married. And I was kind of like, so we get married on Tuesday, right? Because
Huh.
you're gonna need to like scratch the itch, pal. But somebody's looking for that. I've gone to weddings where like they made an announcement that the bride and groom have waited till their wedding day and to consummate their marriage before they left the reception. And I'm like, what the fuck for? But it matters to somebody.
Yes, it does. Some people it's a religious thing. Some people it's a cultural thing. To me, I don't see it. I don't. I feel you want to. I feel it's not wrong with sleeping with someone because now, say you wait until you're married and you sleep with this person and it's absolutely horrible, or you just don't. Now you're the rest of your life, for as long as you stay married, this is the type of sex you have, horrible trash sex. So it's
Right. You have just mentally filed for divorce in your brain.
right, right. You're there, but you're not there. And to me, that's the worst relationship. Like you said, where you're there with a person, but you're really not there. Like you gracefully bowed out. It's like you're lonely. You're there every day, and you're looking at this person like, why me? So that's a sad situation. But
Yeah.
you got to work it out. That's the thing. And you, like you said, you have to be confident and secure in yourself. And everybody finds that at different times. Like everybody.
Topics has to be, can you teach someone to be good in bed?
I think
Can
you
you
can.
teach someone to like it better?
I think you could, but they got to be open to that. You can't teach someone that's not open to different things to do different things. They have to be willing to try, and they have to trust you. Like I told somebody, I'm never ever letting anybody handcuff me, but I'm open to a lot of different things. But you're never handcuffing me. That's just something in my head that's like, nah, Jason's gonna come in and kill me, so I can't do it. So like, who knows about that? But we could try a lot of other stuff. But it's just, how could I put it? It's just patience and taking your time and willingness to learn from one another. Because no matter, I could be the greatest lover in the world for one person, but the next person could be like, nah, I'm just not feeling it. So you gotta learn that person you're with. You gotta learn their body. You gotta learn their likes, their dislikes. You gotta learn how they like to be touched, how they like to be caressed. Because one person may love it a little rough, another person may love it a little more gentle. So it's about learning the person you're with and embracing what you each bring to that situation. So I think you can teach somebody to be a better lover for you. I'm not going to say for anyone else, but if me and you are sleeping together and you're telling me I like it like this, I got to learn you and learn to understand what you like and how you like to be touched and caressed. And like I said, it's about patience and willingness to try. And then, yes, you could teach a person to be a better lover for you as that person. I believe that. But do you believe that?
I gotta think about that. Our next, because we're gonna wrap it up soon. Our
Okay.
next episode is gonna be about family. This episode was gonna be about family, but some of our family couldn't make it.
Right. They had family to take
They
care
had
of.
family. They have family. Our family had some family,
Right.
and we would like to wish our sister and her wonderful husband, who is
Yes.
my spiritual brother.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like to wish happy anniversary to Sean and Kevin Williams, who will watch
Yes.
this during the rebroadcast. It is their
Definitely.
first anniversary, and they have like the most adorable love story.
And I'm so happy, and I'm happy and proud of them because they persevered through a lot and they're doing their thing. And I knew they would. So yes, happy anniversary.
Yeah, he met he met somebody who was a force of nature. He was nobody's prepared for Sean.
Yes, he wasn't ready for that one.
But yeah, he is truly grateful. And yeah, all the Headleys and all the Williamses, please enjoy your weekend this weekend.
Yes,
It's a big
definitely.
deal. I'll be there in spirit. But yeah. So thank you so much, Mr. Wise, for this one-on-one.
It's always my pleasure. Always. I look forward to the next one. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.